Hey, it's Jess here. So I'm going to talk to you about a really interesting topic today, and that is a skill that is essential if you want to achieve your goals, your dreams, and just have all the wonderful things come into your life and all the success you imagined for yourself. And that skill is visualization. So I'm obsessed with doing research on different techniques people can use to improve their life and, again, achieve their goals. Like, I'm constantly working on it, and I just really think that why are we spending so much time on certain, strategies? I don't know, like, going to the gym, eating healthy when we're trying to lose weight, when really the root problem is actually up here. So before we start taking actions on achieving certain goals, it's just a more efficient way to fix the thoughts you have, and it'll just speed up the process. And one of those things you can do is with visualization. So the way it works is because our brains, we have this thing called the reticular activating system. And I want to say thank you, Mel Robbins, for all of your research on this. This is who I started learning about these terms from and the power of visualization, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. So the reticular activating system, basically it acts as a filter for your brain, and the reason we have it is because when you are out in the world, you're consuming all of this info, whether it be consciously or subconsciously. In our brains, we can't handle all that info. It's just too much. Like, just imagine walking out on the street and there's signs, there's cars, there's people, there's buildings, there's people talking, there's music playing. Maybe you have a friend, you're having a conversation. There's just so much you are hearing, seeing, touching. Your senses are taking in like all of this info. It's just literally too much for your brain. Any situation you're in, if you were taking in all the info around you, would be so overwhelming, your brain would just explode. So we have the reticular activating system, and it acts as a filter. But the thing with it is this filter was programmed when you were young, and it was programmed by, through observation by different people that you were around when you were a kid. So who did you spend the most time with when you were a kid? It's probably going to be your parents, family members that you were around, friends, teachers, those sorts of people. And it's usually between the ages like 0 to 14 is when it was really programmed. And it's going to be programmed by the thoughts, the actions, the beliefs these people were modeling, and that becomes your filter. So you're kind of adopting the mindset of the people around you. So after you've, developed and programmed your reticular activating system when you were younger, your brain, I'm like, how do I explain this easily? Your brain has like, so from when you were young, your brain and your reticular activating system was programmed by the repetitive thoughts and the beliefs of all the people surrounding you. And that's what you kind of like downloaded from them. So that filter, it looks for proof and for evidence to reinforce those thoughts and those beliefs that you've programmed into your mind. So I guess an example, if you were hanging out with a group of people that you had never met, and one of the things that was like programmed into your mind is that people always exclude you and people don't want to be friends with you, when you're talking with that group of people, again, there's so much info to absorb that your brain has that filter, so it's filtering out all the pieces to just reinforce those beliefs that you already have. Instead of, it's not going to take all the time to, just reinforce new beliefs unless you spend time reprogramming it. So maybe if you're with that group of people, you're gonna pay attention to someone who turned their shoulder away from you, or someone who cut you off mid-conversation, or a side conversation happening and they're making plans without you. Your brain's gonna pick up on all of that stuff surrounding you and then just be like, see, we told you, people are excluding you, they don't wanna hang out with you or be your friend. But in reality, maybe there's so much more going on. Again, there could be people that are, wanting to talk to you but are a bit nervous, and then you don't notice that they're shy and that they're, keep wanting to engage with you. Or maybe you, I don't know, are having a great conversation, but you're so focused on the one little comment that stood out to you that really hurt your feelings that you're not realizing that you're having this really awesome conversation with these new people that are like actually getting to know you and actually like you. So that's just like one example that I'm, you know, kind of thought of. And I don't know, maybe like that's something you've actually experienced, because I'm not gonna lie, this is totally a belief that I've had at times. And I'm like, wait, I'm totally just observing all the negative things and reinforcing these negative beliefs I have, instead of paying attention to all the good things and the new reality and the new beliefs that I want to create for myself. So your reticular activating system and this filter in your mind, it was programmed again, like I said, from when you were young. But the good news is that you can change it. Hallelujah, thank God, right? Because I know for myself, there's definitely some programming in there that I don't want to, you know, keep on loop. I don't want to stick around. I would love to change it to better serve me. And I mean, it's so great when you can shift this filter from noticing all the negative things, all the reasons to be afraid in life, all the reasons why life's hard and not working out for you. And then instead you can make it more positive and be like, oh, I'm noticing all the ways that people are loving and supporting me. I'm noticing all the abundance around me. I'm noticing little coincidences that are leading me closer and closer to the things I want to achieve and the people that I want to meet. So, I mean, that's great when you can like make that switch, and it's totally doable. So a way that you can change this filter is through a visualization. So you need to see this new reality, this new way of life, the result that you want, but you also need to feel how it would feel for that to happen. So it's visualization paired with emotion. If you just spend like 5 to 10 minutes every day visualizing the different goals that you have and how you're gonna feel when you achieve those goals, it starts telling your brain, you know, this is how I feel. This is what has happening in my life. And your brain literally cannot tell the difference from a past experience you had and something that you visualized. It just has these images in its mind and these associated feelings. It doesn't know if it's a memory or if it's something you just made up in your mind. So when you start to, you know, implant these positive visualizations with these positive emotions, it starts thinking, this is real. This is the life this person experiences. And that's how you're going to reprogram this filter. It's going to start to, you know, show you proof and evidence to make these visualizations actually happen in your life. Now, not gonna lie, this is totally like a new skill that I'm trying out, a new thing that I'm experimenting with. And I'm sharing it because I've had 2 different coaches tell me to do this. And one time I did it, and I, you know, visualized a really successful month with my business and all the amazing feedback I was getting from family and friends and how proud they were of me and how good I felt and how abundant I felt with that new income and doing work that I loved. And right afterwards, I had the most productive week ever. It was like, I had 1 week where I was so productive. It was more, I had done more in that week than in like several months. It was crazy. And, you know, it took me like experimenting with this whole visualization paired with emotions thing a few times before I was like, okay, this is actually working. So, I mean, I've, you know, paid coaches to teach me this stuff, but I want to pass it along to as many people as possible and impact their life. So hence why I'm sharing it with you. But even though this is something I'm still like working on implementing in my own life, I think it'd be cool. Like I'm gonna share updates the more and more I do it and the more things that actually are happening because of it. But there are so many successful people that have credited their success to the power of visualization. So I'm gonna share a few examples with you. So one example I wanna share, kind of like one of my favorite people, but it's Drake. So he visualized this gorgeous home in Los Angeles years before actually getting it. So he said in an interview, I pull it up to just like read about a little bit about it, that he really wanted a beautiful mansion in LA with a gorgeous swimming pool. So he found a photo online and made it the desktop wallpaper on his computer. And then, you know, years later, he bought that exact same house that was in the photo on his desktop. And I guess he just credited like, yeah, just seeing that image over and over and then, you know, feeling those feelings of what it would be like to live here and own this house, and just that repeated imagery, that's what he credited to getting it. Obviously, in all the work he did with his career, but yeah, isn't it crazy? Like the exact house. I think that's just insane. Another example I want to share is MMA fighter Conor McGregor. He credits his, again, he won, I think, like the lightweight championship. Is that what it's called? Something sports related. I don't really know, but I thought this example was really cool too, because he would visualize himself like, you know, punching and kicking and like winning his fights all the time, like again and again. And he would visualize exactly how he would win. And I mean, it happened. I mean, maybe that wasn't a very good explanation, but something I did find very interesting is that he said, you know, it's so much easier to have these visualizations and feel these emotions and all this positivity when things are going well for you. What's really hard is to still have these amazing visualizations when things aren't going well, and then when things are really tough, because it's hard to really feel into that feeling and to be hopeful when you don't really have evidence around you. But he said even in those tough times, he would like stick it out and still do those visualization exercises, and it worked out for him. So another really cool example is actor Jim Carrey. So Jim Carrey, he actually wrote himself a check years before he got his like big break in acting, and it was for the amount of $10 million. So it's kind of huge, and you're like, it's almost like a very out there thing to even try to get in when you're nowhere near close to having that amount in your bank account. But he wrote himself a check and like post-dated it a few years down the line, and he would you know, do different things, but one of the visualization things he did is he would actually drive up to different mansions in, I think it was LA, some big city, and he would just imagine himself living in these mansions. So I guess, you know, having those visualizations paired with actually writing down this number on a check, he actually got his big break with the movie Dumb and Dumber, and he got paid exactly $10 million for his role in that movie. So again, how crazy that people have like just seen the success for themselves, had no evidence that would ever happen, and just through that repeated action were able to manifest it in their reality. I mean, my mind's blown. So, and I mean, how easy is visualization? It's something that is so doable. You could do it daily, you could do it wherever, and it just doesn't take that much time, and it's free. So why not just give it a go and see how it works for you? So an exercise that I try to do is I've written down like 4 to 5 different visualizations of different goals that I want to achieve, and I wrote down the different feelings that I would feel with that goal. So one of mine is speaking on stage and inspiring just thousands of people and seeing my mom and sister in the audience like cheering me on. And I guess I would just feel so supported, so excited and exhilarated and empowered being on that stage. So that's something that I try to visualize, and those are the feelings that I associate with it. But I mean, depending on what you do for a living, your visualization is going to be different. But I mean, something that I know you know, different entrepreneurs have is like they want those like 10K months. That's always like a big benchmark, I know, especially when you're like starting your business. That's kind of like the first, I find, monetary benchmark people have set for themselves. So I mean, try visualizing what it would feel like to earn 10K a month doing something you love, and then having money just like deposited into your bank account while you're sleeping, or when you're at a spa or out to dinner with friends, not, you know, working necessarily one-on-one with a client, and definitely not working for another employer at a desk job. I mean, how good would that feel? And imagine, you know, the praise you would get from people around you. Imagine all the free time that you would have when you have extra money, and the healthy food you'd be able to buy, and the vacations you'd be able to plan. I don't know, I guess when I just think of, okay, how would I feel? Like some of those words for me that come up would be like, life would feel so blissful and joyful and honestly just so like happy and magical even. But I mean, everyone's visualization is going to be different. Those are just a couple examples, but take 10 minutes and really, you know, take some time for yourself and just like quiet your mind and imagine what life could be. So anyways, I hope you guys liked this video, and let me know in the comments below if you've tried different visualizations and if any of them have actually happened in your reality, because like how cool would that be to hear all these people just like achieving their goals from this one simple shift. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more awesome mindset and manifestation and, you know, just fun content like this. I do have a free worksheet. I'll just put a little photo of it there. It's 50 ways to raise your vibration. I mean, it's great to raise your vibration in combination with visualization. You're kind of just gonna further those feelings and feel them on a more regular basis. And I went out and did a bit of research and just found a ton of different ways, and I've tried all these ways and they work for me. So I was like, let's compile it in a list, and you can do a few different ones every day. And I mean, the worksheet is free, so you can print it out, hang it on your bulletin board like mine back there, and use it as a reminder to just live your best life every day with little simple actions. You can download it in the link below. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.